from the Supreme Court. Anyway, I listened. I've taught full-term separation of powers and con law classes every year for the last decade. I try to get out to many bar events. Discussing religion, he said, quote, "To have argued that the First Amendment demands a strict neutrality between religion and irreligion would have struck the founding generation as bizarre. The purpose was to prohibit religious tyranny, not to undermine religion generally." Well said. In summary, he urged more attention, as he put it, to the words of the Constitution, for the framers of the Constitution chose their words carefully, he said. It is sometimes said that the Constitution is a document of majestic generalities. As I see it, and as General Meese described it, the Constitution is largely a document of majestic specificity. And those specific words have meaning, which, absent constitutional amendment, continue to bind us as judges, legislators, and executive officials. So if I could suggest another homework. Next few days, block out 30 minutes of time and read the text of the Constitution word for word. I guarantee you'll come away with a renewed appreciation for our Constitution and for its majestic specificity. The text of the Constitution binds all three branches. And again, thinking back to my confirmation process, the same Constitution right there too. It's tattered now, but I still have it. And he pulled his out, and he read to me Article 1's language about the power of the purse. And why did he do that? He did that because the text of the Constitution matters. And he did that because, if you remember Senator Byrd, he really cared about the power of the purse. So, General, the Constitution is for the amendment process. Changing policy within constitutional bounds is for the legislatures. Remember that the structure of the Constitution, the separation of powers and federalism, are not mere matters of etiquette or architecture, but are essential to protecting individual liberty. Structure protects liberty. And remember that courts, usually when deciding whether an agency exceeded its statutory authority or statutory limits. That question of policing the balance between the legislative and executive branches, our administrative law docket, constitutes one of the most critical separation of powers issues in American law. And the most important factor is the precise wording of the statutory text. If you sat in our courtroom for a week, as Justice Kagan recently stated, we're all textualists now. By emphasizing the centrality of the words of the statute, Justice Scalia helped bring about a massive and enduring change on the Supreme Court and in American law. But more work remains. In my view, certain aspects of law, as I see it, depends on neutral, impartial judges who say what the law is, not what the law should be. Judges are umpires, or at least should always strive to be umpires. In a perfect world, at least as I envision it, the outcomes of cases would not often vary based solely on the backgrounds, political affiliations, or policy views of judges. This is the rule of law as the law of rules. Judge is umpire, the judge who is not free to roam in the constitutional or statutory forest as he or she sees fit. In my view, too, this goal is not merely preference of mine, but a constitutional mandate in a separation of powers system. Article 1 assigns the legislative branch, along with the president, the power to make laws. Article 3 grants the courts the judicial power to interpret those laws in individual cases and controversies. When courts apply doctrines that allow them to rewrite the laws, in effect, they are encroaching on the legislature's Article 1 power. But this vision